Please welcome from San Francisco, Kraig Swensrud, our Senior Vice President of Product Marketing. Kraig, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, Kraig.
So I have the privilege today. Cheers. I have the privilege today of being able to show you some technologies that nobody has ever seen before. And it's all part of Chatter, and it's all part of Sales Cloud 2. Now, many of you know who are Sales Cloud 2 customers that Salesforce.com is the Sales Cloud leader in terms of market leadership and product innovation, and most importantly to us, customer success. You know, our customers are really succeeding across every major metric of Salesforce automation. Not only win rates and deal size, but revenue, which is obviously important to everybody. And for those Sales Cloud customers that were in our Chatter private beta, this is a key statistic for us. 22% productivity increase by using Chatter in your sales organization with Sales Cloud 2. Absolutely amazing. And for those thousands of customers that were part of our Chatter private beta, here's the key thing for us. We're hearing words that in the enterprise software industry, you don't typically hear. You hear them about Facebook and Twitter and Android and iPad and iPhone, but here's what people are saying about Chatter. It's amazing, it's revolutionary, I love it, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's a killer app. So we think we've got a killer app on our hands with Chatter. And the reason Sales Cloud customers in particular are so excited about Chatter is because this solves a critical problem for sales reps. How do I stay on top of everything that I need in my business to close my deals, to satisfy my customers? How do I figure out who to connect with inside of my company, who can help me win my deal? How do I figure out the latest information from the marketing team, the collateral, the pricing, the operations, all the documents that are spread across file servers and email and everywhere? How do I hunt for the information across systems? How do I dig for the information in the Oracle financial system? I can't do that as a sales rep. And the legacy of software collaboration tools is not going to bring us to the future because those tools are stuck in the past. And so at Salesforce.com, of course, we're looking to the future. We're looking to Cloud 2. And as Mark was mentioning, you know what? Facebook has showed us a better way. Facebook has invented this new paradigm of collaboration in our personal life with status updates and profiles and feeds and filters. These are new features and new technologies. And of course, we all know as end users of this technology, we're empowered. And when we connect with our family and our friends and our classmates, the insights stream to us and we learn things that we otherwise would never have known. But what do we do in our companies? And what do we do for our sales organizations? You know, when we first sat down to write the first few lines of code of Chatter, this was our mantra. What if enterprise sales organizations and enterprise collaborations worked like Facebook? But of course, for our business, they would have to be private, secure, and trusted. And of course, that's what Salesforce.com is known for. And so today, we're so excited to introduce Chatter. It's part of the Sales Cloud. It's part of all of our products. But it's built for sales professionals to work like Facebook and allow you to follow the people, the documents, and the applications across your sales organization that you need to succeed. You know, as Mark was saying, we didn't build a separate collaboration platform. We didn't build it on the side. It's not bolt-on software that you have to plug into the Sales Cloud. It is at the heart of Salesforce automation, and it is at the heart of Sales Cloud 2. Chatter works with every major feature across our product. But there's no better way for me to convey this to you right now than to show you a live demonstration. So let's go ahead and bring up the demo of Sales Cloud 2. Now, many of you, of course, know this screen. Many of you are customers in the room. This is the sales application. You can see that in the upper right-hand portion of the screen. Here we are in sales. And the hyperlinks across the top of the screen, these represent the core functions of the sales application. So managing your customer accounts, managing your contacts, managing your big deals and your opportunities and your analytics and dashboards. But right there in the middle of the screen, you not only see your dashboards, everything you use to track your deals and where you are on the leaderboard and where you are against your quota, but you see Chatter front and center in the sales application with the user profile link. And now every single user in your sales organization and your extended sales organization out to your entire company has Chatter. So when we click on this hyperlink, many of you in the room I know are in the beta, you know you're brought to your work profile. And it looks like Facebook, and it acts like Facebook. You can upload your photo, your contact information, your expertise, your work history. And so this facilitates people around the company connecting to work together to close deals. But it's all about business. So instead of status updating about what you had for breakfast or something that's happening in your personal life, here in Chatter, you're status updating about your work, questions you have, documents you're working on. In this case, our sales rep here, Scott Thompson, is looking for a reference in the media industry. And now everybody who's following Scott can collaborate to bring that reference to light. But it's not just following people. And here's the critical thing. Here's the critical thing with Chatter, is that it's not just following people. It's following documents and data in addition to people. Following a product price list, following the marketing collateral, following updates from your competitive team, following your top customers, following your big deals, following your critical support cases before your customers have the opportunity to get frustrated and leave you. And everything you're following manifests itself right on the homepage of Salesforce. So, of course, we look to Facebook and we look to Twitter. The feed is on the homepage. So here in Chatter now, the Chatter feed is right on the homepage of Salesforce. And here, in real time, everything that you care about as a sales professional is streaming to you right in the feed. You can see updates from people like Nicole in marketing, who's wondering how she can help you prospect. You can see updates from documents like operations changing the discount matrix on a price list, and every sales rep wants to know that immediately as it happens. You can see updates from data like a support case that's been escalated to critical, and everybody across the company dogpiling on that to resolve the issue. And you can even see updates from non-Salesforce apps because Chatter is a platform. How about here on the screen, Oracle Financials chattering to the sales rep that a customer hasn't paid their bill. But to so many reps, it's all about closing deals. That's really the focus. That's the focus of the Sales Cloud. So right below that, you can see updates, chatter from your opportunities, saying that a competitor has been added by somebody else on the team. And even right below that, Jigsaw, an acquisition that Salesforce.com made just a couple months ago, is now included in Chatter. Many of you know that Jigsaw is a crowdsourced database of over 20 million B2B contacts. And now we've included that with Chatter, and we've included that with Sales Cloud too. So let's go ahead and click into the feed. The great thing is everything is a hyperlink, one integrated system. And when we click through on the contact, David Adelson, we've got some incomplete information. Chatter is telling us that the internet, that the cloud has more complete contact information for David Adelson. As you can see here, we don't even see the map. So we don't know where this gentleman is located. We don't have the up-to-date phone number. But with Jigsaw, we can just clean this database. We can clean the Sales Cloud, and we can go out to the cloud and get updated and complete contact information right here on the screen with one click. The internet is telling us, Jigsaw is telling us that it has more information, complete information. We select the fields that we want to bring into our own Sales Cloud. With the click of a mouse, we're back on the contact record, and there David Adelson has complete contact information provided by Jigsaw integrated with Sales Cloud too. But it's not just contact information. If you go up to the account screen, one thing that's brand new with Jigsaw is that you're going to notice Jigsaw has actually more people. And ahead of our big deal next week, ahead of our big customer sales call, we might want to go grab some information about some VPs that might be in the room. You can see here that in the Sales Cloud, in our database, we only have 2 contacts. But right below that, you can see that Jigsaw is telling us it's got almost 40 contacts in its database, and even 4 of those at the VP level. So just by clicking on the number 4, you actually can see a screen where Jigsaw is saying, you know what? We actually have 4 people at the VP level, and 2 of those folks are in the IT organization. We have the VP of IT and the VP of IT operations. So if we're on a big sales call next week and those guys walk in the room, wouldn't it be great to know something about those folks? Wouldn't it be great to have accurate titles, accurate contact information? And now we can just bring those into the Sales Cloud, once again, by clicking on our mouse. One integrated system that's running on the web, everything in real time. But for sales reps, it's all about deals, as I was mentioning. So right from the account screen, why don't we drill down into our big deal for this month, an opportunity with a company called Green Dot Media for about $700,000. Now, this is a familiar screen for so many of you in the room. This is where you track your deals, your opportunities, your products, your pricing, your forecast, everything that Salesforce.com is known for. But now, here's something that's really critical. Every single record in the system has its own chatter. You can follow it, just like you follow a person on Twitter or follow one of your friends on Facebook. You can follow deals. You can follow customers inside a chatter. And every single record has its own feed. So let's take a look. Let's expand the chatter feed on this opportunity. This becomes really a private collaboration space for just the people in the company who are working on this deal. You can see that somebody added a competitor. Everybody gets notified in real time. You can see that Jake updated the meeting agenda. How common is this? As sales teams, ahead of a big sales call that you're trying to close in a quarter, you got 5 or 10 people that are all sending information over email, thousands of emails going back and forth. PDFs and documents and PowerPoints and Word documents. No one knows who's got the latest version. It's a nightmare, this email nightmare. But there's a better way, because Salesforce.com provides the context for the deal. So you can now collaborate with Chatter right here in the Sales Cloud. You can share documents, share ideas. Let's go ahead and view this document. You can see that you can flip through always the latest meeting agenda. Everybody has an idea. Everybody can make recommendations on moving the agenda around, who's going to present, in what order should we present, what slide deck should we present, and you can see all that chatter happening right here on the screen. But many of you know that your sales teams are not all sitting in the same room. In fact, what are the odds your sales rep, your sales engineer, the product specialist, and the VP of sales are ever in the same room at the same time? It just doesn't happen anymore. We're living in a mobile world, and we expect now mobility from our enterprise applications. So let's go ahead and bring up the iPad. You can see here on the iPad that, of course, this new large form factor of the iPad allows you to run any application. You can actually now run Salesforce in the browser on the iPad. You can pinch the screen, full functionality. Everything I'm showing you with Chatter will, of course, work in the browser on the iPad. But right now, I actually want to give you a sneak peek into something nobody's ever seen before, something that we're building back in our labs, something that we're set to release later on this year, and that is the first ever native iPad app from Salesforce.com, and it is Chatter for the iPad. So let's go and see if we can get this thing to work. Salesforce.com running Chatter now natively on an iPad. Of course, we have our security information, and as soon as we bring it up, one thing you'll notice is that the Chatter feed is front and center. There's nothing to get in your way between you and accessing the Chatter feed. Of course, you can touch it, you can scroll it, you can move the system around. One cool thing about the Chatter app for the iPad is we're building it to allow you to browse your social graph, which are the connections between people inside of your company. You know, how do people get business done in your sales organization? How do they connect? Who's following who? You can see who your sales engineer is following. And really what this brings out in every sales organization are the hubs of knowledge, the pockets of knowledge inside of a company to figure out how do I connect with the right people at the right time to get the expertise, to get the competitive information to close my deal. And now it's all part of the iPad, and that's how we're designing this. But check this out. You orient it in landscape mode, and you get more functionality, you get more real estate on the left-hand side of the screen. This is where you're starting to see the filtering technology, where I can filter the Chatter feed to all Chatter, just my Chatter, create your own filters, and also you see groups there. We're going to get to that in just a second as well. But the Chatter iPad app works just like, in terms of functionality, in terms of real time, it works just like any device on the web. We can preview documents. There's the meeting agenda. And in fact, as a sales engineer, maybe I'm sitting in the airport, maybe I'm on 3G or Wi-Fi sitting at the airport, I actually can chatter to my team from wherever I am. So we can see the entire conversation thread, the same thing that you can see in the browser. But now check this out. Let's go ahead and create a comment and chatter on this document. Let's make a suggestion that we move things around in the meeting agenda to accommodate this new competitor, and maybe we should beef up on our information on competitive. Watch the screen on the left. Watch the screen behind the iPad. Because as soon as we chatter this information right here, it is reflected in real time around the system everywhere. And so, of course, as soon as Dan gets our Chatter iPad app working over here, everything happens in real time. That's kind of the nature of the web. That's the nature of Chatter. That's the nature of Sales Cloud too. So we'll show you this in the browser, and we can show you this a little bit later on in the demonstration. That's the nature of Sales Cloud too. It is real time. Everything works in real time. So back here inside of the browser, all those updates, whether it happens from the iPhone or the iPad or from the browser, everything gets notified to every individual on the sales team immediately as it's happening. So of course, our SE is saying, hey, let's beef up on some information in the competitive intelligence group. Well, in your sales organization, where would you go to get information on competitive intelligence? Would you go to a dead sales portal? Would you go to an intranet? Would you email spam everybody in your sales organization wondering who's got the latest information? Well, now shipping today to all Salesforce.com customers, a brand new feature of Chatter, Chatter Groups. And this allows anybody in your sales organization to spin up a group for competitive intelligence, a group for references, a group for your team. You don't need to ask your IT organization to do it. Everybody in your organization can spin up groups, collaboration spaces to exchange information. Here we are in the competitive group, and the cool thing is what you can see here on the screen, people are sharing ideas. People are sharing best practices. People are sharing war stories on how to win. People are sharing ROI models. People are sharing slide decks. And this type of information, it needs to be centralized in your organization, and that's really what Chatter provides. Now, as a sales rep, we don't actually have to go anywhere other than right here in Chatter to get this information. It's a completely integrated system, so it works with the content library that you guys might already be using from Salesforce.com that's part of Sales Cloud 2. And as a rep, what we would typically do is we take these slides, combine them together with other slides that we've got in our deck, and we try to create the killer pitch. If we've got a big sales call we're trying to go on next week to close our big deal, we want the killer pitch. And as soon as we think we've assembled the killer pitch, what always happens is we end up sharing that with everybody else on our team. We want to share it with our SE. We want to share it with the VP of Sales. We want to share it with the guys in operations. We want to share it with the product specialist to make sure we're nailing it. And how do we do that? Do we, again, email spam everybody with our 20 megabyte PowerPoint attachment? We've all been there. We've all been to that place. We've all seen the email kicked back inside our company because our email inbox, our Exchange server is too small. Well, now you can share it in Chatter. And every time you see it in Chatter, it's reflected around the system everywhere. People can comment on it here. They can give ideas. We can reorder the slides, and we can work on it together. We can collaborate together as a sales organization to close our deals. And it's accessible from anywhere. Anytime I chatter right here on the screen, it's accessible from everybody on their mobile devices. Any browser, anywhere, any iPad, any iPhone, any BlackBerry, and later on this year, any Android device as well. Let's go ahead and bring back up the iPad. And what you're going to see here on the screen is, of course, exactly what I just chattered. That sales presentation is immediately reflected here on the iPad. It's not only on the iPad, but check this out. If we can zoom in on that a little bit. What you're seeing here on the screen is some pinch spread technology that we're building to allow you to just take a PowerPoint presentation and literally pinch it apart and view it on the screen. This is the type of thing that you can do on the iPad and these touch devices, a new type of user experience that we're bringing to market with Sales Cloud 2. And it's not only on the iPad, of course, it's on the handheld. It's in your pocket. Here is Salesforce Mobile running on the iPhone, an application that many of you have already been using for many months. If we drill into the opportunity record here on Salesforce Mobile, we can see, if we scroll down, there's our big deal. There's our $700,000 deal. And now, on the iPhone, there is also Chatter. So take a look at the screens you see up here. The browser, the iPad, the iPhone, the BlackBerry, and coming soon to other devices as well. This is really the future of Salesforce automation. The future of Salesforce automation brought to you by Chatter, not as a bolt-on technology, a bolt-on collaboration system, but something that is core and is at the heart of Sales Cloud 2. So with that, let me go ahead and conclude the demo and hand things back over to Mark. Thank you.
Great job, Kraig. Thank you very much. Dan, great job on the demo. Great to see the iPad under development. We're really excited to be able to present this to you today, to present the vision of Cloud 2. But what you saw in the sales application, you're going to see in not only all of our applications, but in the tools that we give you to build apps and in all of the apps that are available from our partners as well. So we're really delighted to have just a tremendous executive who's had a huge impact on our industry. You don't have to go very far to know that. Please give a very strong welcome to Michael Chow, the VP of Product Marketing of iPad for Apple Computer. Michael, please come welcome.
Thanks, Mark.
Great to see you, Michael.
Great to see you.
Michael, first of all, congratulations on the great success of iPad, and I know how personally involved you've been in that and how hard you've been working. And can you just give us a little update? How are things going with iPad these days?
Well, thanks, Mark. It's been an incredible ride. We have seen tremendous success with iPad, and we're just thrilled with the way consumers are responding to iPad. One thing we know for sure, people love their iPads. And not a day goes by when I don't hear from a user, an email, a call, someone stops me in the cafeteria, and they tell me a great story about how much they love their iPad. And I really never get tired of those stories. This morning, we actually announced that we sold our 3 millionth iPad.
Wow, that's amazing. 3 million.
An amazing number.
Wow, it's only been 80 days, I think, right?
80 days. And just to put that number in perspective, we sold, it took us 74 days to sell our first millionth iPhone. So 80 days for 3 million iPads, amazing.
That's incredible. Yeah. Michael, you know, as I've gone all over the world, the thing that I've been really just stunned by is kind of the international acceptance of the iPad. In government, in business. I mean, I've had meetings with the CEOs of all the largest companies in Asia, and the main topic of conversation was my iPad. I mean, I even went to meet with the former Prime Minister of Japan, Hariyama-san, and here he is. He was interested in my iPad. So that was amazing. It's just stunning. And it translates universally. Why is that?
Well, I think what's amazing about the iPad, and you're right, that it really does resonate with a really broad range of users. And I think they see immediately from the form factor, from the small, light device, looks like paper, and images look amazing on it, the big screen, the very natural multi-touch user interface. They really resonate with what they're able to see. And they immediately picture their applications, their information, their content, and the really intimate relationship they can have with it.
Michael, I had another question, which is that, you know, I noticed that when you shipped iPad version 1, it had the VPN. In fact, Dan was using the VPN to talk back to production data on that native app that we did. It had the native email integration so I could get to my work email and so forth. You know, how do you see iPad being used in the enterprise and with business? Here we have thousands of enterprises here who are, you know, looking for the next generation of computers. How should they be thinking about this?
Yeah, that's a great question. The wonderful thing about iPad is we really wanted to define an entirely new category of device. But we were able to do that building on the underpinnings of iPhone OS, or what we now call iOS. And it has built into it some great enterprise features. Great Exchange connectivity, Cisco VPN, enterprise-grade security. And so what that makes possible is a great platform for enterprise applications. Not just because it integrates well, because you can create amazing, fun user experiences on the iPad.
Well, it's been amazing, Michael, and we're huge fans of the device. I'm living on the product, and I was actually an employee of Apple in 1984, and I
think you actually met when you were back in 84.
That's right. So, and I wrote some of the first native assembly language on the Mac then, and I remember the pirate flags over the building and the fruit juice and Steve running around yelling at everyone. It was an amazing time, and you have been really at Apple almost that entire time, but you left for a short time. Is that right?
I did. I'm what we call a retread. So I worked there for a while. Yeah, worked there for a while and came back. But it's great to have you as an evangelist again for
I'm happy
Apple
to be doing it. It's great. Well, Michael, thanks so much for being here. We're just delighted to be working with Apple Computers.
Very much.
Please thank Michael Chow. And for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to experience iPad, if you look under your seats, we're giving away 10 free iPads today. And if you've got one of these under your seats, you're going to get one of those 10 free iPads today. So hopefully you'll find one of these under your seat right here. All right. All right, I think we got 10 winners. All right. All right, thank you very much. We got one right here. Thank you. All right. So, all right, so we got somebody back there. Very good. Did everybody find theirs? Can you hold it up if you have it? All right, yep, all right. Congratulations, everybody, on your free iPads, and more surprises coming. I haven't had that many people bow to me since I was in Japan. I wanted to bring up another great company today, a huge customer of Salesforce.com, and a great executive who's had a tremendous history with the industry, who's really shown us what's possible with cloud computing, not only using it for sales and service, but for custom applications as well. Please welcome John Miles, the VP of IT and CIO of Consumer and SMB for Dell. John, please come up on the stage.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Great to see you.
Great to see you, too.
Thanks so much for being here today. We're just delighted to have you here. Now, John, tell us, give us a little update quickly on Dell. For those of us who have been living in a cave for the last, 30 years, can you tell us how is Dell doing today, the number of employees, the size and scope of the company?
Yeah, for those of you who have not been following Dell, we've had just a tremendous amount of changes over the past 18 months. We have acquired Perot Systems recently and now have a major multi-billion services company under our umbrella. We've got a rapid strategy to take us from being a product development organization to a solutions-oriented company. And with that, also a move into mobility and mobile devices.
Well, it's very exciting. And John, can you tell me, you've been pioneering Chatter inside Dell now for some time. I think Michael Dell is also on Chatter. I know I've gotten a few chatters and emails from him. How is it going so far with Chatter and Cloud 2 inside Dell?
Chatter has been greatly received in our pilot. We've been running about 500 individuals for about the past 4 months, many of them in my organization, and we've been using a couple different use cases. One has been, as we're doing product engineering, is to help coordinate the product management launches amongst the team, the release processes, the change management processes. Another thing we've been looking at it for is one of my partners here from BMC, we use their tools from incident change problem management, so we're using it as a way to track problems in the infrastructure and a way to collaborate around them. So it's been very worthwhile.
That's fantastic. John, can you tell us, what are some of the custom apps that Dell is building around Chatter that you've deployed with Force.com? Is there any app specifically that you've seen that you've been really impressed in as you've taken over the Salesforce relationship?
Yeah, we run, as you know, we're one of your largest customers, and we run...
I know that.
we run about 30,000 individuals on it, about 20,000 active, about 2.2 million customers in the U.S. alone in our customer database. But we are building a new platform called Sales Central, where we're integrating Salesforce.com and, more importantly, Chatter to create an experience around the Salesforce.
That's very exciting. So now, tell me something, John. You saw my iPad. Is that your favorite device at Dell, that you're using the iPad every day?
That was kind of tough to sit through.
Oh, it was?
But, no, I've got a device that I actually like a lot better, having used them both.
And who makes that one?
This is actually a Dell device.
Ah,
it's called
all right.
the Streak. I know Michael's been talking to you about it, but it's a 5-inch form factor. Great device, using it to run Chatter if you want to take a look.
Fantastic. And will you be able to give a demonstration of that as well to some of our users who are here?
I'd love to.
Well, that's great. And so you're running Chatter right there on the device. And tell me, can you open the device and move it around and all those
you
kind
can.
of things?
Do you want me to put it under the wolf?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Thanks.
Let's take a quick look.
I'll pimp my device. So we call this the Streak, and it's available in Europe right now, and it'll be coming to the U.S. later this summer on multiple carriers. And this is just, our internal Salesforce instance. We're going globally on this on July 5th, as you know. So we'll be taking it out to all 30,000 users. Big win, we think, for the organization. And as you can see, I've got a number of active chats that have been going along. And per your earlier comment, on here we've got Michael as well.
Fantastic. That's great. And what is the operating system that you're running there on the Streak?
This is an Android.
Very good.
And this device has got a ton of just uses, from a GPS in your car to a camera to an HDMI link for your home.
That's great. And if our folks who are here today want to get a closer demo, are you available afterwards to show them up close and personal?
I'll be here afterwards. Thank you very much.
Great job. Hey, John, thanks for all your great support. Congratulations on your new device.
Thank you.
We're delighted to have you here. Please thank John Miles from Dell. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the nature of apps is changing, and we've profiled our sales app. We've taken a look at what Dell is doing. We've talked to Apple, but we want to give you another insight into another key application category. Customer service and support is one of the largest application categories in the world today. Call centers, customer service organizations, portals for customer support, the fundamental integration of those portals with social networks. It's all changed. It's all changing. And I thought about who could I bring on this stage to really explain the change, to really show you what was possible. And so if you know him, he's a fantastic guy. He's my partner in starting Salesforce.com. He's my co-founder. He's our Executive Vice President of Technology. He's written all the code that you've seen up here today and manages our development organization. Please welcome Parker Harris.